It's mid-August and we've been really busy this week finishing projects, getting ready for the opening of deer season.
Growing Deer TV is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops, also by Reconics, Trophy Rock, Muddy Outdoors, Non-Typical Wildlife Solution, Eagle Seed, Nikon, Winchester, Redneck Hunting Blind, Dead Downwind, Record Rack, Antler Dirt, Lacrosse Footwear, Scent Master, Bloodsport Arrows, and Prime Bows by G5.
We've received over 6 inches of rain in the last week here at the Proving Grounds.
I'm gonna make a couple chairs out. Oh, look at this. It's water.
I returned from speaking at the Bass Pro Fall Classic this weekend, and the first thing Adam and I did this morning is head up to Boom North and check out the pond where we put the bentonite. As we were walking through the food plot, I was really excited to see standing water in that pond. Probably remember a few weeks ago, the boys and I spread bentonite clay in this dry pond. This pond's located on an elevator ridge that goes down to a major food plot, and hence it's a good travel corridor for bucks during the rut. So creating a little water source in a known travel corridor during the rut, bucks coming down through here to check out the food plot, scent checking, can be a great place for a shot. Given that information, this pond was obviously creating for a hunting setup and not for overall habitat management. We've got a couple of muddies hung right behind me in this tree, which is a perfect setup to cut bucks off coming to this travel corridor. The plan seems great, but I'm really not convinced this is going to hold water yet. You can see an obvious little debris ring around the pond where the water level is up, and it just stopped raining hard a few hours ago. I don't know if that water is leaking through a deer track or something in the pond, or is simply being absorbed in the clay and reducing the water level. Ideally, bentonite is tilled into the soil and mixed in, which makes an awesome seal. Here at the Proving Grounds, our soil is so rocky that tilling in isn't possible, and we had to spread it on top and hope for the best. We're keeping an eye on it and hopefully take you back to that pond during the rut here at the Proving Grounds. Of course, being middle August and getting moisture, we're thinking about planting fall food plots. This is a food plot we call barn field. You can see the barn in the background, and this field was heavily overbrowsed before the recent rain started. I had anticipated needing to replant this field. That can be a tough decision because it takes time and resources to plant another crop, so you want to make a good decision whether just to leave the existing crop growing or you need to supplement that crop. With the recent rains, you can see these Eagle Seed beans have jumped and are over knee tall on me. Huge amount of fresh forage, and they're making flowers indicating they're going to set pods and provide food for the winter. There's a couple of considerations when evaluating a plot like this, whether to plant something else for fall or let it go. First consideration is what type of forage is it? Some forages obviously are going to be killed and dead at the first frost and leave nothing else to eat. If that's the case, you probably need to replant that field in something that's going to be productive through the cool months. These Eagle Seed forage soybeans are indeterminate. That means they're going to grow literally and put on new leaves, flowers, and pods until it frosts. So they're going to be productive and provide enough forage until it frosts. And all of these flowers I see setting on here are likely to turn in pods, especially now that we have ample soil moisture. If I believe these beans will make at least 20 bushels per acre, pretty low yield for soybeans, then I'll leave them standing. So when I evaluate this field or field for clients, and if I think there's enough flowers and soil moisture to produce at least 20 bushels per acre, I'm going to leave it standing and save the expense of planting another food plot that might not even produce 1,800 pounds per acre. We're just about a quarter mile from where we filmed the last segment. We're right next to a bedding area, and a lot of deer use this end of the food plot. In the last field, the beans were knee tall or higher on me. In this field, they're about boot tall. I'm seeing a few flowers out here, but I doubt these really overbrowsed beans will yield 20 bushels per acre. It's too wet to do anything now, so we'll give this field a week or so before we plant, and if I really see huge growth, I might consider leaving it, but I suspect we'll drill a mixture right in these beans, allow the deer to keep eating on these beans while the new crop is germinating. In the areas where beans are boot tall or shorter and obviously not going to make enough pods to feed deer through the winter, we'll simply broadcast or drill a cool season mix right in those beans. This year we're going to try Eagle's broadside mix, which is something you've seen before. I've been experimenting with trying to get the ratio right for several years. We've had great success at getting deer in their early, mid, and late season and are ready to get some deer broadside for shots this fall. After looking at the food plots this year, we won't be backing off our doe harvest, and I suspect you'll see us flinging a lot of arrows at antlerless deer this year. We're working on a ranch that's literally right across an old county road from where I harvested my first deer and turkey many years ago. Like right here, see where there's a little hole right here? Look how much vegetation there is right there versus anywhere else. Gotta have sunshine. He has a large farm and really enjoys working with the land and creating food plots and hunting deer.
So I think that's what
He harvested a lot of does last year, but even though he had a great doe harvest, his beans were still about ankle tall just due to the drought that really limited the ability of plants to grow in those conditions.
Trails come out of the bluff, just kind of forces them right up and down.
the best food in the neighborhood by far.
The beans we've got are here in the best tillable land we got, which is up in
Another aspect of this tour was to see where feral hogs have been moving in on his property.
at most torn up.
Yeah.
And here you're 5 or 6 times the area.
Yeah, yes sir. They're
See all
invasive. Feral hogs are an invasive, non-native species to the continental United States.
They like to get out in this thing.
So that's west, and we're gonna have a wind usually somewhere out of the west. I enjoy hog hunting and eating wild hog as much as anyone, but I know as a biologist they do a tremendous amount of damage and need to be stopped if at all possible. Being the good biologist I am, I automatically raise my hand and Adam and I volunteered to go over this week and hopefully help him remove a few hogs from his property. No teasing, I love hunting hogs, but if you're serious about eradicating or drastically reducing hogs, it probably takes a really good trapping program to make a dent in a hog population. Take time this week to get out and look at your food plots or do a little work, and while you're out there, take a moment to enjoy creation and slow down and listen to what the Creator is saying to you. Thanks for watching GrowingDeer.tv. Probably in 10 miles from our house. Hogs are within 10 miles.